Hello farmers, welcome to yet another episode of Kilimo Diaries here on TV 47. Now, as promised on last episode, that hii mwaka itakuwa ni moto moto because today we are still focusing on Dorper sheep farming. Now, last week we touched a bit on Dorper, the breed, and the feeding and the breeding. But today we want to touch on the money matters and the health management. So join me as I meet our model farmer of the week, Mr. Ben of Amagoh Farm. Sitwende. Last week we were here at Amagoh Farm and we started the conversation on Dorper sheep farming. So we touched about breeding, feeding and nutrition, and so this week we want to continue that conversation. What does the health and management look like? What about the housing? What about now the market value? Hapo tunaingilia mahali pa pesa. And of course with me is our model farmer of the week yet again, Ben. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you.
Thank you for welcoming us again to your farm.
Most welcome.
How have you been?
I've been well. All is well. We thank God.
We thank God. Absolutely. Yes. So let's continue the conversation. Nje last week ulitupatia to the basics, the feeding, the breeding. So let's now touch on the health. What are some of the health challenges or the health diseases that affect Dorper sheep, and how do you manage them?
What you find mostly of the health diseases that I would say is a challenge to the Dorper sheep is mostly to do with respiratory distress. This can be the coughing, labored breathing, fast breathing. And the other challenge comes within the realm of what we refer to as contagious diseases. And mostly of these diseases, thank God, we can be able to take care of them through the vaccinations. Yes.
All right. And I'm happy we touch on vaccination. Last week you did as well.
Yes.
Could you just give us what the program of vaccination looks like for our Dorper sheep, and what exactly are you vaccinating them against, and what are the timelines?
There is one, what I refer to as a universal vaccine. This is a clostridial vaccine, meaning whether you're here in Machakos County or you're in Kisii or Texas, you will need to vaccinate your sheep against a clostridial vaccine. And depending on which brand you buy, it can take care of anything between 7 to 9 diseases in sheep, including the most common one called enterotoxemia, or in layman terms, overeating disease, as one of the diseases it takes care of. There's another one called tetanus. You also have now another one called Pasteurella. So all these diseases are taken care through the vaccination regime. For us here at the farm, we vaccinate against 3 diseases. The clostridial, then the next one is pneumonia. We do a vaccine known as commonly as CCP or CCPP. During the cold months, in this side of the world is July to August. So then we vaccinate a month before that. The next one is PPR, or commonly known as Pestis de ruminants. And that one we do around December. Yes.
And what is
and
the
both
important
vaccines, CCPP and PPR, are done twice a year after every 6 months.
All right.
Yes.
And what is the importance? If a farmer does not do that, does not vaccinate their sheep, what happens?
One signal of not vaccinating your sheep is mortalities. And that's costly to a farmer. So the best way to work it around is to make sure that you work very closely with your local vets to understand what diseases are prevalent in your area, and those are the ones that you vaccinate against. The mistake many other us farmers we do is ask each other.
Right.
That's not the correct way. Is work very closely, because whatever may be vaccinating here in Amagoh Dorpers may be different what you're going to do in Turkana, in Kisii, and other parts of the world.
All right.
Yes.
So it is important to actually talk to your vet and know what you're vaccinating on your farm.
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
What about the internal parasites? Now, I know that is where deworming comes in. So how often should a farmer do that?
There is no really a hard, fast rule in regards to that. What you need to do is, how do you start your deworming process? And the best way to do that is through what we call a fecal analysis.
All right.
So you may choose in your shed, you first pick droppings, fresh droppings from the ram, from the ewe, and from a lamb. Those are 3. Put them in different envelopes. For here, we take them to the Kabete Vet Lab. There, they will be able to diagnose and check for you which worms are present in your immediate environment. And now you look for a dewormer that targets those worms.
Okay.
Again, don't ask each other about it. You know, that is the best way to do that. And for here, as a standard, what we do is that for lambs below 6 months, we vaccinate monthly. Every month till they get to 6 months of age. Anybody above 6 months, we do it twice every 2 months.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
That's interesting. Hakuna
Yes.
kuulizana. All right. Now, in terms of signs and symptoms of a lamb or a sheep that is not feeling well, what are they?
One clear symptom is just irregular behavior, meaning if your sheep are grazing out there, the sheep is not grazing, it's looking up, or it's pointing its head down. Another one is clearly by you taking what we call the temperature readings. If you get anything that's above 39, then you know you have a fever. Anything below 37, then you know you also have a problem of low temperature. So the other thing is just the coat. When you look at its wool, how does it look? When you look at the eyes, if the eyes are pale, then you have a problem with worms. So those are some of the ways you can just easily check to see. And of course, others are like coughing. If you enter into your pen and you hear the coughing, then clearly you have a respiratory issue that you need to handle. Yes.
And how then do I ensure that the disease does not spread in my flock? Tuseme wako kwa hii pen. How do I manage so that the disease does not spread?
One is through carrying out what we call isolation protocols, where if you find 2 of the sheep are coughing out of your 50 sheep, then you need to put them aside and treat them accordingly. Yes.
Say I have bought a lamb and
Yes.
I want to introduce it to my flock. Do I need to quarantine that new lamb?
Yes, you need to, and any other sheep for that matter.
Why?
Why? Because again, you have a certain standard protocol that you've been running on your flock. Now you've brought in a new mgeni ameingia kwa boma. Now you need to treat them on a quarantine. We call it a quarantine period, where in this farm we run it for 14 days. In those 14 days, you're going to treat this. Let's say you bought it from a market,
Yes.
where you have no medical history or health history about this particular ram. Then for those 14 days, you may need to deworm the ram. You may need to introduce him to your feed
Yes.
at the farm.
Okay.
Then after those 14 days, then he can join the sheep.
Oh, you need to introduce them to your feed because perhaps maybe on the previous farm they were not using the feed that you're using.
Correct.
All right. And so that is what we are checking for. What about biosecurity measures? Because on some farms, you'd find they have a dip. They have several dips. Is that necessary for someone who is doing Dorper sheep farming?
As a standard, you need to have a biosecurity program at your farm. One, at least on every entry point at your farm, especially if you're going to be entertaining clients and visitors to your farm, and also outsiders. You need to have your, what we call them, the foot dips, where people just pass through and dip their feet on the dowers that you've put in there. Then for the cars, as they go through, the tires and everything need to be sprayed. And also you may need to have something for the hands.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. But that's just for the people that are coming into the farm.
Correct.
What about now this sheep? Sometimes I know maybe wanaenda malishoni kwingine. How then do you control that so that they do not bring diseases from outside to the pen?
especially if you're going to run a free or open grazing system, that will always be the challenge. And now we are talking in a situation where you don't have fencing working for you. Maybe it's a communal land.
Yes.
Now, what you may need to do is that you may need to be very strict on your dipping protocol. That's when you're doing your parasite, the spraying of the sheep. In some instances, I've seen farms where they do it once or twice a week. That would be a good start. And now just monitor and ensure that on those acaricides, you don't use them for a very long time. So in the case of the Amagoh farm, we do 3 different acaricides in a year, changing them every 2 months to ensure that the ticks don't have what we refer to as resistance to these dowers.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's interesting. Now, that is now for them as they come into the pen. What about the pens themselves, where they sleep? How often does the cleaning occur? And what about the droppings? How do you clean that?
Here at Amagoh Farms, we clean every day. Yeah. What you need to ensure now when it comes to the pens is that there are certain hygiene factors you need to look at. One, ventilation. You need to have sufficient ventilation running around the house. Secondly, security. Security against predators, and these days we are not only talking about hyenas, we're also talking about human beings.
Okay.
Yeah. Thirdly, you're looking at the hygiene of the floor. How easily can you be able to clean your floors? Yeah. So that's very important. And in our case, we do it every single day. Yes.
All right. And that for you is because you're a large-scale farmer of some sort.
Correct.
For someone who is a small-scale farmer, what are those realistic, biosecurity measures that they can take up?
Small or big, I would want to believe the aspiration is to be big if you're small. And if you're big, to be bigger. So what you need to do is you need to have your foot bath. Your entry points need to have car dips as they go through, or sprays as they go through. Your workers themselves need to have protective clothing. In terms of if they're working, they need to have their gumboots on, not open feet and all that sort of thing. The other important thing when it comes to the pen is to have a pen with proper ventilation and easy to clean. And of course, lastly, just a pen that is secure for your animals.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. We've talked even about the pens, and I was headed now to the housing structure. What would you say is the housing structure that you have adopted here at Amagoh Farm?
For Amagoh Farm, we adopted a housing structure that offers the sheep an area where they can stretch, enough room to walk around, but at the same time an area that also offers some shelter against the wind, the sun, and other weather adversities that may come. And also to ensure that in your housing structure, especially if it's going to be a zero grazing unit, ensure you have a water point where you can be able to easily offer them some water, and also ensure that you have your mineral leaks, which are very important for the sheep. Yes.
So do they sleep here?
Yes.
At the end of the day?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Fantastic. So we continue with the conversation right after this short commercial break. Do not go too far. Keep it TV 47. This is Kilimo Diaries. Welcome back. This is Kilimo Diaries here on TV 47, and on this episode we continue learning about Dorper sheep farming, and of course I am at Amagoh Farm, and with me is our model farmer of the week, Ben. And just before the break we were talking about the housing structure, the pen structure for that matter. How much space does one Dorper sheep require?
Ideally 2 meters squared. Is sufficient, especially if you're operating on a zero grazing format. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And what are some of those low-cost improvements that a farmer can make in terms of their housing structure to ensure that they have good space for their sheep and flock, and also performance of the flock in general?
One is to use materials that are reusable. For example, when you look at your troughs, you can actually use a PVC.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've noticed that
yes,
around.
and cut it into two and have it as your feeding trough.
Yes.
One, you're not going to get mold on that. And secondly, it's going to be durable. It will last for a very, very long time and easy to clean. That's important. The other thing is to look at, if you're going to use wood, use treated poles.
Yes.
They may be a bit pricey at the start, but it's going to be saving you a lot of money in terms of wear and tear costs. Yes.
Okay. Very important, because this year kila mtu ako na aspirations. Masese over there has an aspiration to start this. So you can actually start small. Now, in terms of the climatic conditions, this Dorper sheep, where are they really inclined to perform best?
The good news is that they're dynamic. They do very well in cold areas, and they still do equally well in hot, humid climates. Yes. Yes.
And is there a way that farmers can actually protect them from extreme weather conditions?
Yes, what it requires is that, especially when you're purchasing, it's very important. If you're in the cold areas, I would always recommend you purchase from a breeder who is in those cold areas. Why? Because his sheep or her sheep would have acclimatized to a region similar to yours. Yes, and the same applies to people in the low rainfall areas and the hot, humid areas. Yes.
And can a farmer who is in a very cold environment adopt such a housing structure that you have here? Ama, you'd probably advise them to have a closed, some sort of, structure.
I would say go for a bit more closed. Not too close, but a bit more closed. Yes. This is because now you have the wind to deal with, which will be blowing, in and out of your place, and it's cold for that matter. So that you may have a few challenges with the respiratory distress, but apart from that, open is always best.
And I know you've mentioned that they can acclimatize to any climatic condition and environment, but then do they have challenges, like when it comes to the environment? Are there any challenges that the Dorper sheep can find?
No. Remember what they were built for and where they were built. You will find Dorpers can do very well with very sparse pastures and be able to convert that into mutton. That already tells you the hardiness of the animal. The mothering ability, able to take care of a lamb or lambs, that is very high on the Dorper. Utilizing what we refer to as little food and be able to convert it very fast. That's the feed conversion rate. So they do very well.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Now I want us to switch up into now money matters. And I know every farmer has been waiting for this particular bit. Now, first, what is the market for Dorper sheep like currently in Kenya?
The market has really improved. And the problem we currently have under the Dorper market in Kenya is mostly about supply. The demand is high. Giving you an example, when we started out in 2011, we were selling our mutton for 380, between 350 and 380 carcass weight per kg. Right now, we are being offered by the same client 700 shillings. So that can tell you it has been an upward climb. The other thing, the international market is open and ready to do business with any farmer here in Kenya who can be able to demonstrate that they can be able to supply in scale. And that has been our message here at Amagoh Dorpers, is to encourage farmers to embrace scale.
To embrace scale.
Correct.
All right. And I know we're talking about buying and selling, and someone is watching and wondering, so I have sheep. Who is my buyer? Who is this market we are talking about? Is it just local butcheries? What are we talking about?
The market generally depends with the quality and quantity of sheep you have. The better the quality of sheep, then you're going to have a better market. What do I mean? If you, for example, have only 5 sheep, then you're talking about your local butchery. Yeah, nobody's going to come from a distance to come and check on 5 sheep. If you're at the range of about, you're able to produce for sale at about, let's say, 10 sheep a week, then small restaurants will be your market. Okay? If you're able to give anything about 50 sheep in a month, then the off-takers are there for you, and they'll give you better pricing. And the better quality you're able to produce, even the 5-star hotels will be knocking on your door. Yes.
All right. And what then is the age that I would know that my sheep is ready to go to the market? What do I look at?
For mutton, I think this will really be based on your kgs, your weight.
Your weight.
So here you're looking at anything above 40 kilos. The market is more than ready for it, because it means you're talking about a carcass of anything between 17 to 20. That's premium. And anything below a year, and now I'm giving a reference to Amagoh Dorpers. We try as much as possible for the sheep that are on free open grazing. It takes us about 7 months to get them to 40 kilos. And the ones that are on zero grazing takes us about 5 to 6 months. Yes.
When you look at the production cost and everything that you have to use here on the farm, would you say that Dorper sheep farming is profitable?
Yes, it is.
And to what extent?
It is. It is. It is. And why I'm emphasizing on the word it is that you need to be prepared. As I mentioned when we started this show, is that you, as a farmer, you need to be deliberate. So for you to see light at the end of the tunnel, one, genetics. Buy the best genetics you can afford. Start with that. Secondly, ensure that you're feed secure. 3, ensure you and your team are competent in management. Yeah, because that's where the mortalities will lie. Your lack of competence will glaringly show. And 4, on technology. Embrace technology.
Have you embraced technology here?
Here we have, in terms of the apps we use for breeding, in terms of the way we do our record keeping, the way we do our tagging. Yes, and we are, as we always say, we are learners. We continue learning. It's been a journey for the last 15 years, and we just enjoy the trip. Yes.
And with Dorper sheep farming, are there opportunities for value addition?
Yes, there are opportunities for value addition, but again, these value addition opportunities only come to the ones who have skill. Yes.
How?
Yes.
Okay.
And where we see them is in the skins. Yeah, the veils. You can be able to do quite a lot of that. Yes.
So quite a lot in terms of now the skin, perhaps?
Yes. Selling the veils to the tanneries and all that. Yes.
Okay. What would you say are the most common mistakes that farmers make with Dorper sheep?
The common mistakes is thinking that they only eat grass. That's very common, and you'll quickly realize which side of the fence you are on when drought comes or lack of rainfall. The other mistake is lack of knowledge. Many farmers don't want to learn. You know, some of us believe that because we were born with sheep, we know. And that's where the ignorance now comes back and bites you, because you're running it as a business. Any farmer who's in it as a business needs to be able to tell you how much it costs to feed his Dorper per day. Yes. Yes.
So,
and exactly that will tell you by the time you're selling how much has it cost you vis-a-vis the price you want to sell at. Then that's where the profit lies.
So for someone who's starting, how much capital are we looking at averagely?
That's a tough question, because that will really depend on where you're starting from. What do I mean? If you don't have feed, then you need to cost feed. If you're going to grow your feed, then your cost comes a bit down. You see, where are you going to start at in terms of your genetics? Are you going to start with crosses or what they call hybrids, or you're going to go all the way to the pedigrees? So there will be that differentiator. But what I always encourage farmers to do is don't start at the very top, because it's like a dairy cow. If you start with a cow that's giving you about 50 liters a day, the kind of level of care and management it requires is very high.
It's very high.
And being a starter, you're going to suffer. That's where you start hearing of the Githongori stories.
Yes.
Okay? Yeah, where I bought a cow in Githongori, it was giving me 40 liters. I brought it home, now it's doing 7.
Yes.
But what would have changed are many things. Feed maybe changed. Management changed, because now it's not being taken care of by a competent person. It's being taken care of by your cousin who is sitting at home doing nothing, as you say, and you give him a cow which he doesn't understand.
Yes. Yeah. All right. What are the risks that I should be aware of if I want to start Dorper sheep farming?
Start by visiting good farms. What do I mean by good farms? Ethical breeders. Visit them and start by learning. Like here in the farm, we quickly realized that many of the customers we had in the initial days didn't have the basic understanding of how to take care of the animal. You may have the money to buy, but taking care is phase 2.
So you have beginner classes here?
Yes, we have beginner classes for farmers who are starting out. We also offer business plan trainings where we help you set up your business plan for you to understand what the costs look like and what the projected profits will look like. We also do site visits to your farm and come and just help you set up. Either you're looking at it as a turnkey or just an open startup. We are there to help you with all
All
that.
right. And
Yeah,
how
so
can someone reach you?
you can reach us through our socials and also our number, which is 0702849400. Yes.
All right. And your socials?
Our socials is on, we are available on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel known as Amagoh Dorper Stad. We are also on Facebook at Amagoh Dorper Stad. We are on TikTok at Amagoh Dorper Stad. Yes.
So everyone who needs the training on Dorper sheep farming should reach out to you.
Correct.
Asante sana for welcoming us once again to your farm.
Thank you.
It is always a pleasure.
Thank you for taking the time and happy farming to all of you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Asante sana to you for always keeping it TV47 and Kilimo Diaries. And of course, asante sana to the crew and our partners, the Kenya National Farmers Federation. Let's do this again next Sunday at 7:30 p.m. My name is Sheila Chelanget, and of course, this is Kilimo Diaries, a show for the farmer, by the farmer, with the farmers.